Hi, this is Mrs. Parr, and on this episode of Math Up to Par, we are going to talk about standard form and written form of whole numbers. So, when a number is in standard form, it is in number form. It has digits. This number is in standard form right here. I know it has some spaces in between it. I just did that so you could see when I mark on it a little bit easier. But if it didn't have any spaces in it, this would be a number in all the way up to the 100 millions place in standard form. So when I want to change this number from standard form to written form, there's an easy way to do it to break it down into smaller pieces. That way you can write it. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to take each of my numbers and I'm going to put a box around them. Just like that, okay? So I'm going to write each number in the box the way I would read it. When I get to the word, when I get to the first comma right here, I'm going to write the word million. And when I get to the second comma, I'm going to write the word thousand. Okay, so I have three boxes that I'm looking at. My first box, my first box, my second box, my third box. This comma says million, this comma says thousand. So first box, million. Second box, thousand. Third box. I'm just going to read it left to right, just like I would if I was reading words on a page. So let's try. So let's take that number and one more time. I'm going to put my boxes around it. Okay. And now when I type this number, I'm going to type it the same way. I'm going to say the number in the box and I'm going to type it or I'm going to write it the same way that I say it. So this number in this box is 821. 821. Notice I didn't say the word and. It's not 821 because and is a word we use for decimals. When you watch my decimals videos, you'll see how we use the word and. We're not going to put the word and anywhere in here because there is no decimal point. So once again, this number is 821. I'm going to type it the same way I say it. So 821. Then I get to this comma. This comma, this first comma says million. So I'm going to type the word million and then I'm going to put a comma after because my million had a comma there. This next number in the box is 300. I'm going to write it the same way I say it. So I'm going to write 300. Then I get to my next comma. That comma says 1,000. So I'm going to write 1,000. And then I'm going to put a comma right after the word 1,000. My last box says 776. I'm going to write it the same way I say it. 776. Oops, I need to spell it correctly. So now I have this whole number typed out. So it is 821,300,776. So it's a lot when you put it all together, but if you break it into these small chunks, it makes it easier for you to write it. So let's try it again. I'm going to put boxes around each one, and I'm going to break it apart. Okay? So my first box says 408. I'm going to write it the same way I say it, 408. Not 408, just 408. There's no ands unless there's a decimal. After this first box, I get to my comma. That comma says million. After my comma, I get to my second box. That number is 16. I know there's a 0 in front of it. That's because it's a placeholder to show the place of each of these digits. But it's just 16. I don't have to write 0 anywhere in my number. So if that number is 16, if I say 16, I write 16, same way I say it. So after this second box, I come to my next comma. My next comma says 1,000. So I'm going to type or write 1,000 with a comma. After my second comma, I come to my last box. My last box is 375. So I'm going to write it the same way I say it. 375. I'm going to put a hyphen in between those. So now my number altogether is 408,016,375, which sounds like a lot altogether, but when you break it apart into boxes and you say box, comma, box, comma, box, if you follow that pattern, it makes it easier to write it down. All right, so now let's go the opposite direction. So when we're going from word form or written form to standard form, you are going to look at the words and you're going to highlight the word million and you're going to highlight the word 1,000, okay? Once you've highlighted both of those words, you are then going to write 9 lines separated by 2 commas, okay? So you're going to write 3 lines and then a comma, another 3 lines and then a comma, and then another 3 lines. Those are the placeholders for each of your digits. You may not use all of these, but you should write them all down. It will help you stay organized and make sure you put your digits in the right place. Okay, so we are going to look, we're going to highlight. I am just going to circle on mine. Let's do this. I'm going to highlight or circle the word million and the word 1,000. Okay? So when I look at my word million, when I look at my word 1,000, everything that comes before the word million is going to go on this first set of lines because this million is the same thing as this comma. Everything that comes in the middle right here is going to be written on my middle lines, okay? Because it's in between million and 1,000. It's in between my million comma and my 1,000 comma. Everything after my word 1,000, that's going to be written on my last set of 3 lines because it comes after my comma 1,000. So let's start over here. I see 73, okay? 7 and 3 are 2 digits, okay? I have 3 lines right here, which means I need to use 0 as a placeholder. So I could put my 0 in front, I could put my 0 in the middle, or I could put my 0 at the end. Which one looks like 73? The first one does. So I'm going to write 0, 7, 3. And we will come back and talk about that 0 at the end. Then I have 116. So if I have 16, 100, 116, that's how I say it. That's how I put it in number form. That's 3 numbers right there because it's between my million and my 1,000. I'm going to write my 116 on my lines down here. After the word 1,000 is the number 92. Once again, I have a 9 and a 2. That's only 2 digits. I have to fill 3 places, which means a 0 is going to need to go somewhere. It can either go after it, it can go before it, or it can go in the middle. Which one looks like 92? This one does. So I'm going to write 92 on my lines right here. Okay, so let's look at my number right here. Okay, my number at the top in word form says 73,116,092. Okay, here I have 73,116,092. I need this 0 as a placeholder in the middle. If I took it out, it would shift all the numbers and it would change their place value, which would change their value, which would completely change the number. I have to keep this 0. However, this 0 that's in the front right here does not hold a value. So any numbers that are on the left of a whole number and they don't have anything before them, those can be erased. So I'm going to erase that. So that's how this number looks in word form and in standard form. Let's try another one. So I'm going to find my word million, I'm going to find my word thousand. Okay, so let's see. Before the word million, I have the number 400. 400 looks like this. So then I would go ahead and I would write it like this. Then I have my number 12. 12 looks like this. That's only 2 digits. I need to fill 3 spaces. So I could put it in front, I could put it at the end, I could put it in the middle. Which one looks like 12? The top one does. So I'm going to write 12 on my lines right here. My last set of numbers after my comma, after my thousand, say 603. So that's 2 digits, 6 and 3. I could put the 0 in front, I could put it after, or I could put it in the middle. Which one looks like 603? That's 63, that's 630, that's 603. So that would be the one I want to put down here. So this number in standard form says the same thing that this number does in written form. It says 400,012,603. I need to keep all of these zeros here because they hold a place that's in the middle of the digits. I can't erase any of them because they all have something to the left of them. So I have to keep those zeros there. All right, well, that is all I have for you for this lesson. We've practiced taking whole numbers and taking them from standard or number form to written form, and then from written form back to standard form. Rewatch it as many times as you need. Thanks for listening. Happy practicing. Bye.